Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Tuesday, November 22nd. And it's the countdown now. It's the countdown to Thanksgiving. I know that you guys are scrambling. Some of you are leaving town. Some of you are preparing. And as you do prepare, perhaps it might be worthwhile for you to go binge all of our shows in one major session where you're cooking your turkey. You know, that could be something that's fun. Just go to our website, jillonmoney.com. Everything that is Jill on Money related, all of our content lives on that website. And if for some reason you're having anxiety about your family, you need to help talk to someone about money, or you're thinking about this and you want to just get it off your chest before everyone hits your house, then click the Contact Us button. Tell us what's going on. We'll arrange to get you on the program and we'll help you walk through this process. Because so often, many of you call with what you think is one problem and we uncover a different problem. And so we want to make sure that we are addressing what's underneath everything. Okay. And so if you can do that, if you can kind of get your nerve up and join us, sometimes we find surprising little details that need addressing. Today, we are talking to Linda, who's on the line from Denver. Hi, Linda. What brings you to us today?
Well, Jill and Mark, I've been listening to you guys for several years now, and thanks to you, have a nice emergency reserve fund going on. But now that brings me to the question of between retirement, putting money in cash, when do we dial back retirement and do a brokerage account or cash, and just kind of trying to figure that conundrum out.
Like the allocation of your resources, as they say in Econ 101. Okay. So Linda, tell us about yourself.
Well, my husband and I are both 56, both work. We make about together, depending on how much overtime I work, over $200,000 in our retirement stuff. We have a little over $1 million in our combined 401ks. About $55,000 in our emergency fund. Of course, we've got $20,000 in I-bonds.
I love that you're like, of course, because it's like if we Mark, did we ever mention the word I-bond before last year?
Before this year, I mean, before 2022, I don't know if we ever said the word I-bonds. Now it's like the hip thing to do.
I was early in that trend. You have to admit, Mark, because I said to Mark, you have to buy these I-bonds. And he's like, oh, the website stinks. But I told you it's worth it. Okay. The $1 million that's in the combined 401ks, is it traditional or Roth?
Well, of course, we went to Roth in the past year, 100%, which our taxes really, really love. We probably have right now about $100,000 in Roth, but going forward, it's all in Roth.
That's awesome. How's the cash flow? Like, how are you feeling in terms of your living, your standard of living, and do you feel tight at all? What's going on?
No, my husband has a shoe problem that he manages to fund well.
Shoe problem?
He likes those Ferragamos? What does he do?
What kind of shoes exactly? I want to know.
Tennis shoes.
He's a sneakerhead?
I mean, Adidas, he's not like spending $200, $500. No, it's like, I got this great deal. They were $150, but they were only $98.
I love that. And does he do all the different? Mark likes Adidas also. Mm-hmm. So you were talking about a brokerage account. Do you have a brokerage account so far or not yet?
No, we do not. Okay. Just all 401ks.
Do you guys have kids?
Yes, we've got 4.
What?
I know. What in the world? And 2 of them live at home, but though it's just one of them that's not really launched. But sorry, that's my dog.
I love that.
That's not your dog, Jill.
Not mine. I'm like the person who has the kid and you hear someone else's kid cry and I'm like, not mine. Don't care. There are 2 at home and 2 are launched. Is that how it goes?
Correct. Well, the one at home, is planning on moving out soon.
All right. So I'm just going to say 1 at home because one's moving out.
Yeah.
Tell us about the house. How much is it worth?
Zillow says $650.
$650.
And we are at like $90,000 that we owe.
Really? What's the interest rate on the mortgage?
3%.
And is it a 30-year?
We refinanced. I mean, we're down to like 6 years left.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We refinanced years ago. So.
Okay, good. All right. Now, you're 56. You're both 56. Do you like working?
I love my job. And the plan is that I, probably go to part-time-ish at 65. to keep making some money till 70. But my husband has, he's always hated his jobs.
Oh, no. I feel bad for people like that.
Well, I mean, that's on him. He works a more physical job too. So I've always told him, that 65 would be his hard stop. Mm-hmm. But even, when the house is paid off, if he wants to dial back and do something that isn't as demanding.
Right. Will either of you be entitled to a pension?
Of course not.
What about your needs? So, I mean, you're putting a lot of money into retirement. What do you think you need to live on? What's the expense need? Not even expense, just like what you would like to have monthly in retirement.
6,000 to 7,000 is where we're at currently, and I assume with the cost of living, 7,000 would be a.
Okay. So when you look at your Social Security benefits and you're projecting out, what does it look like for you at your full retirement age and then at age 70?
My work, I contribute to a 401a. And so, of course, these are my highest earning years that I'm contributing to that. So my Social Security at 70 will be $1,400. And my husband's at 70 is $3,375.
In your view, like when you kind of project forward, is there anything else you think that we need to take into account to like before we start thinking about the planning part? Is there are there older relatives still alive? Is there anything else that you think you'd like to at least have in the back of your head?
Yeah, my mom lives with us. She's 82. And she'll live with us however long she holds on there. And I would imagine into her 90s because her mom was 97. Mm-hmm. She pays a little rent and contributes in that way. So we don't support her.
And does she have any assets?
When, there's a reason she lives with us.
I got you.
She doesn't have a lot. How's
the multi-generational thing? I kind of digging it, like just from afar. Not that I'd ever want to live with my mother, but really.
Yeah. How does it work? It's so wonderful to have her around. She goes and sees my sister. She got stuck with my sister for 1.5 years during COVID.
Oh, geez.
But this is her base. But it's really nice to have her around and being around the kids for so much was great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is all good. So here's how I look at it. When the mortgage is up, what's your mortgage payment, just out of curiosity?
It's just principal and interest. We pay the rest separate, so it's $1,500.
I mean, the only thing that I would like to say about the brokerage, and we've been talking a lot about this lately, is I like the idea of you guys having more money in the brokerage account because if you both stopped working at age 65, okay, and even if you worked part-time, but I still need 5 years to get to that age 70, right? And I need you guys to come up with, $3,000 a month. So here's the kind of the layout that I see for options. There's two parts. First part is 56 to 62, right? At age 62, you now have a free cash flow of $1,500 a month, right? So you can take that $1,500 a month that you were putting down on the mortgage, and you can either say to yourself, okay, maybe my husband can go part-time. Maybe. Can he work in a shoe store? I mean, would that be possible?
Oh my
gosh.
That
seems to me a good idea.
Dangerous. But I mean, that's something that I'm just like something that isn't as physical and that he can not be working 50 hours a week for salary.
Right.
Would be fantastic.
Look, you'll have benefits, right?
Correct.
That's number one. So let's say at 62, do you think he could find a job making $3,000 a month?
Oh yeah. Easy.
Okay. $3,000 or $4,000 a month. That's all we really need. Because you'll have that extra $1,500 that you're saving from the mortgage. And if he could do that, that'd be awesome. Then I think what we're talking about is if you can make up that difference. In other words, if you can essentially say, I'm going to prevent us from dipping into our savings, whether it be our retirement accounts or we'll talk about your brokerage account in a month. But if you can generate your $6,000 or $7,000 a month, even if, frankly, I don't care if you stop putting money into your retirement accounts. I really don't at age 62. Our goal is that between your ages 62 and 70, that you are almost cash flow neutral, that you guys work enough to pay your bills so that you don't have to dip into your accounts. That's the goal for me. Okay. And if you could do that, fantastic. Now, maybe that means you're working full time and he's working part time or some combination of that. At age 70, you're freaking golden. You are golden. Truly. because you say I need $7,000, you'll have about $4,700 coming in, which means that we have to come up with, to fund the gap between what you need and what's coming in, about $2,200 a month post-tax. So let's say you need you'll need $3,000 a month for the rest of your lives. So like from 70 to 100, because you have a lot of longevity. You'll be able to do that. I think you'll be able to do that because you'll have a lot of money saved.
Between now and then, that million will definitely be a 2 million.
Exactly. So I feel like you're in great shape. It's just that period of time between 62 and 70 where you could derail the plan. So the way that most people blow their plan up is essentially they're like 62 comes and they're like, no mortgage, we're out of here, we're done. And then you start dipping into your retirement account too early in your retirement. And you can't afford to do that. However, what I think would make sense right now would be for you guys to try to beef up your non-retirement savings. So Mark, if you were going to go from 56 to 62, okay, what portion of their total savings should be in Roth versus brokerage?
I mean, right now they're eligible to contribute almost $50,000 a year between them. I would probably maybe make almost kind of go in half. I would try and put 25 a year into the brokerage and then 25 a year into Roth.
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense. And it may not be. It may be 20 and 20. You'll do fine at 20 and 20, by the way.
Although I know Linda wants to know, why open a brokerage account? Why not just keep using the retirement accounts at work and, keep it simple with less accounts and all that stuff?
Yeah, so answer her.
I mean, I get it because she really wants to build up her Roth assets. So yeah, in theory, they could put away a ton of money into her Roth 401k, and that's not going to be taxed. So I do get that argument.
I mean, look, you can do either. How about that? I'm fine with you doing the Roth, and it is easy. But I would like you to have just a little bit of extra moolah floating around in your non-retirement account. So even if the emergency reserve fund is built up, let's just pretend in 6 years, you're like, you know what? He's not going to quit, or he's going to quit. He got a better job. And you can save. I would like the emergency reserve fund to have, at that point, let's just pretend it was today, that I really would like you to have more like 75 or 100 grand in there, if you're not going to have a brokerage account.
And we do put every month right now, I'm putting like $1,500 into that.
Okay. That's good.
The intention of growing it.
That's good. I'm happy with that then. I really am. Now, Linda, 4 kids, one who's at home. Have you done your estate planning?
Oh, we last year or so, actually right before COVID, I had done the pay for the legal stuff through work. And so that pushed me to get a revamp with all the kids, not having to worry about a guardian and all that stuff.
Oh, that's so good. That's
that all
so good. Any other questions that you guys have right now?
Life insurance. When do we know we don't need it anymore?
Now.
Okay, really? Oh my gosh.
What do you have?
Well, we just had the 20-year term just ended, and I just signed, it's term, but I had just gotten approved for 10 more years of term, which I think I'll continue because my pay is so much more than my husband's. But he didn't qualify easily like I did, so we might just let his lapse next year. Okay.
What did you sign up for?
Just $250,000, not even a big, but enough that I'm the money person.
Okay.
And so I don't want him to have something happen to me and then immediately have to worry about stuff.
Can you get it through work cheaper?
It's like $125 a year. It's really
all right.
Don't
worry about it.
That's cheaper than Netflix.
Yeah.
All right. We're allowing you to keep it then.
Thank you.
All right. Send us a picture of your husband's closet with all the sneakers lined up.
The
Please
boxes.
do that.
Oh my goodness.
I like sneakers also. Last night I went to an event in New York City and this girl was in the elevator changing her shoes out of her sneakers. And I said, "You're nuts. Keep your sneakers on. Nobody's looking at your feet. No one's looking at your feet." Anyway, the best thing that ever happened to me is that sneakers became sort of quote unquote fashionable. I've never looked back. I wear heels for 3 minutes and 30 seconds at a time on the set of CBS Mornings. That's it. Evening news, no one sees your feet. It's a waist-up shot. Couldn't care less. I'm wearing sneakers, everyone. I'm often wearing blue jeans and something different on my top. Okay, all the secrets are out now.
That's the in your 50s and just,
Yeah, the FU50s. Absolutely. All right, listen, you're great. We so appreciate that you have joined us today. If you've got a question about your game plan, or if you're making a decision that has to do with money, all you need to do is go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you'd come on the air. We'd love that. While you're on the website, check out all of our great content and sign up for the free weekly newsletter. Comes out every single Friday, and Mark does a fantastic job with that. You can also pre-order the new book. It's called The Great Money Reset. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Who doesn't want to change your life? Okay, do something nice for someone else today. Grit, growth, grace. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.